Antonio starts right now.
A shopping mall in El Paso is still considered a crime scene this morning after shots rang out, killing one and hurting three others. What police are saying about the people taken into custody following that shooting.
The suspect in a shooting on San Antonio's west side is still on the loose this morning. We're going to have an update on the man that was shot. Outside with live cam, the front has now moved through, triggering a few showers. Mike is tracking those. He's also talking to us today about the high fire danger in many parts of the KSAT 12 viewing area. Anna, good morning to you. It is Thursday, the 16th of February.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good week so far, and definitely a little chillier this morning, even though it's 58 degrees.
Mike is here with more on the cool down.
Yes. Yeah, it's not real cold right now, obviously. We've got the wind out there, and that's going to be the huge issue later on today. And then temperatures, they'll kind of do a little bit of this morning and this afternoon. So we're not really going to be any warmer than what we are right now. Later on today, we'll cool a little bit. More on that in a second. So we've got a fairly tranquil picture, maybe a few damp spots left on the roads, but with the windy conditions and the very dry air, things should dry out fairly quickly. And as far as rain, there's that line of showers that moved on through here. A couple of leftovers just to the south of Kennedy, Cuero, and that's going to continue to move on out. So rain is out of the picture. Temperatures mid upper 50s. So yes, we're still, and even a couple of low 60s out there, and really dry air, and even drier air is going to continue to come on in here. And the wind right now out of the north, 15, 20, close to 25 miles per hour, and then it's gusting to 40 right now out there at the airport, 32 in Hondo, 35 in New Braunfels, and that's going to be the huge issue with the very dry air as well as the windy conditions. We have high fire danger in effect today. So we have red flag warnings that are in effect at mid-morning up until late this afternoon. And this just updated. There was a fire weather watch. I'm going to check on that. That may have been replaced by a red flag warning, but still that very high fire danger does exist. Mold and ash are both on the low side from yesterday's reading. So the best thing to do today is hang on to your hat and keep a jacket handy, because we're at 57 right now. We will dip down into the low 50s in the next few hours, right around mid-morning, and then only bounce back to the mid-50s later on today. A lot of high clouds hanging around here, kind of like what we had yesterday, and of course very windy conditions. Winds out of the north, 15 to 25 miles per hour. You know, it's not that cold this morning. Wait till tomorrow morning and Saturday morning. Very cold. So we'll talk about that and talk about the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark?
Thank you, Mike. San Antonio police say a 29-year-old man is fighting for his life in an area hospital after he was gunned down in the parking lot of a northwest side apartment complex. This happened last night just before 9 p.m. in the 10,500 block of Bandera Road near Camino Villa and Tesla Road. When police got there, they found the man had been shot twice in the chest and once in the hand in that parking lot. He was taken to University Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police say that suspect took off from the scene before police got there. His age and other details are not known right now. It's also not known what led up to that shooting. If caught, police say the suspect could face an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge or murder charge if that victim dies.
One person killed, three more wounded yesterday in a shooting at a shopping mall over in El Paso. It adds to the dozens of people already killed this year in mass shootings across the United States.
And another vigil was held last night on the campus of Michigan State University for those mourning the 3 lives lost in Monday's mass shooting. As CNN's John Lawrence reports, some are calling for action toward the country's gun legislation.
And we honor them and their legacy.
MSU students, faculty, staff, and the community honored the memories of Ariel Anderson, Alexandria Verner, and Brian Frazier, who were shot and killed Monday night on campus.
Students all across the United States are probably thinking the same thing that I thought, that it probably one day is going to happen to them. I'm here today because I can't just sit there. I need to do something. Someone needs to do something.
The Gun Violence Archive and CNN define a mass shooting as an incident where at least 4 people are killed or injured by a gun, not including the suspect. According to the GVA, the MSU tragedy was the 67th mass shooting in the United States this year.
We shouldn't have to live like this. We shouldn't have to subconsciously scan every room for an exit. Go through the grim exercise of figuring out who our last call would be to.
On the same day as the MSU vigil, Texas police responded to a shooting at the Cella Vista Mall in El Paso. Authorities say at least one person is dead, at least 3 others are injured.
Preliminary information right now, we have 2 in custody. There is no more danger, and I want to repeat that, there is no more danger to the public.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott tweeted that he is offering El Paso officials the full support of the state. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm John Lawrence.
Thank you, John. Ukrainian officials say Russia has once again pummeled the country with a barrage of missiles. Russia fired a combination of 36 cruise and other missiles and lost at least 16 of them to Ukrainian air defense batteries. A local governor said a 79-year-old Ukrainian woman was killed and at least 7 other people were wounded when missiles hit an eastern city. In western Ukraine, a regional governor said that a fire broke out at a critical infrastructure facility.
Last night, residents of the Ohio village upended by a freight train derailment packed the school gym to seek answers about whether they are safe from toxic chemicals that spilled or were burned off. Hundreds of worried people gathered in East Palestine to hear officials say again that testing so far shows the air there is safe. Residents are still concerned about the huge plumes of smoke and they saw and persisting odors and wonder if there are any lingering health risks. The administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is slated to visit the area later today.
In Alabama, 2 people were killed after a Black Hawk helicopter crashed onto a highway yesterday. The Alabama law enforcement agency says the crash occurred on Highway 53 near the Alabama-Tennessee border. The chopper belonged to the Tennessee National Guard. Officials say first responders who arrived at the scene found the helicopter engulfed in flames. Given the extent of visible damage, they determined there was no way anyone could have survived. Federal and state authorities are still investigating that crash. Right now, 436, 58 degrees.
A lot of bull riding action at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. We're going to show you which cowboy managed to hold on for the full 8 seconds last night.
Spurs head coach Greg Popovich was pretty upset after last night's loss against the Charlotte Hornets. We'll show you what he had to say after the team's record 14th straight loss.
And some problems on the roadways out there. Looking at the medical center, this is I-10 at Callahan. This is the access road off of I-10 where it looks like the lanes are blocked, but there's a few vehicles moving by.
Yeah, this is the westbound access road, and Stephen tells us they think that this will be clearing shortly. Rollover accident. Outside with live cam, when is it going to get cold around here again? We know that's coming soon. We'll find out with Mike Ostrage. Still to come. The Spurs closed out the first part of the rodeo road trip last night in Charlotte against the Hornets. First hoop was a pretty one. Zach Collins bounced pass to Malachi for the reverse layup. 2-0 Spurs. Cue up Branham again this time for the 3. Spurs lead 11-3. However, Spurs fall behind and Charlotte would lead 60-57 at the half. Third quarter, Dennis Smith Jr. races back for a slam dunk. Pop calls a full timeout just 16 seconds into the quarter. He's not happy later. Sohan with the ball. Spin, shoots and misses. Grabs the rebound, gets the putback bucket. Great effort. Spurs trailed by 7 and they were down 93-86 after threes. Fourth quarter, Spurs fighting back. Doug McDermott slicing through for the layup to get them within 103-102, but that's as close as they get. Spurs fall 120-110, suffering their franchise record 14th straight loss. Pop was, well, shall we say Pop after the game.
Yeah, they're young and blah, blah, blah and all that, but that young thing is getting old. You know, it's the same mistakes, giving up middle, not blocking out, just inexcusable. Youth's got nothing to do with it. At some point, you have to take pride in what you're doing execution-wise and competitively, and that starts with defense. And we really suck. So that's on me. When I think we're starting to improve on it, then we go back 2 steps. So that's something I'm going to have to think about, figure out how I'm going to be able to motivate them better, to make them understand that they have to take pride in that. But we have no one on the basketball team who sets the example for anybody else at the defensive end.
Didn't they just trade some guys too? Yeah. And due to the NBA All-Star break, Spurs won't play again until February 23rd when they take on Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks. Now One of the real-life bulls at the Stock Show and Rodeo. Here's Jared Parsonage getting thrown off Dirty Mike, and Dirty Mike almost spears the cowboy in the backside. Ooh, can bullfighters step in to keep him safe? Here's the best ride of the night. Tristan Hutchins on board Alpine Fertilizer. And this one is going the distance, 8 seconds, and Hutchins sticks his landing. Job well done. That is an 86 for the win, beating out Dawson Sticky Gleaves, who scored an 81 on Wild Side. And if it sounds funny reading some of those names, trust me, it's entertaining.
Yeah,
I love it.
It keeps it interesting.
Just want everybody to be safe.
Time now, 4:42 and 58 degrees for now. A local woman beating the clock and winning the race against time. Still ahead, a rodeo competitor who will not give up at any age.
A next family loses a daughter in a tragic accident on vacation. What the parents want others to know to avoid anything like this from ever happening again.
And welcome back. It is 4:45. A family who lost their daughter in a tragic tubing accident during a spring break vacation is speaking out about the risk involved in traveling abroad. ABC's Gio Benitez has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, spring break danger.
We didn't know the dangers.
Linda and Dave Murray losing their 13-year-old daughter Cassidy in a tubing accident in Aruba last March. A day before they were scheduled to go home, Cassidy wanted to go tubing. Cassidy, her dad, and the driver heading out on the water.
5 minutes into the ride, Cassidy got ejected into the water.
The boat hitting Cassidy. David says the driver froze before helping him get his daughter back to shore.
It's coming up on almost a year since she passed. Since day one, our goal has always been to create awareness to prevent another family from going through this.
And we'll have more of our interview, plus the expert tips to keep you and your loved ones safe on spring break. And it's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
There's a saying that cowgirls live forever, and last night many people saw a bit of proof about that.
As Ursula Perry reports, great story by the way, a San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo competitor turned the cloverleaf barrel pattern after just turning 77 years old. Check it out.
Deuce is his name. He's 21 this year.
It may come as no surprise that Teddy Harley's horse might be considered a bit long in the tooth for rodeoing, but that's how this horse lady rolls.
I don't give a lot of thought to my age, and as long as I can keep moving and not fall off, I think I'm a little ahead of the game.
Even though Teddy here has been riding for most of her life, this barrel racing thing is pretty new to her. She started doing it only about 4 or 5 years ago, and now she's headed to the big arena. She entered the Stock Show and Rodeo's open rodeo barrel race and made a clean run. It qualifies her in the 5D time limit. Not the fastest, but enough to beat competitors half, well, we'll make that a quarter her age. It's a mother-daughter partnership that makes this work.
About 4.5 years ago, I asked my daughter if she'd let me barrel race, help me barrel race, and she said as long as I did what she said, and here we are, so.
Are you still doing what she said?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
She's won a bevy of buckles and even a saddle, and her daughter could not be prouder.
I cry. I do. I will get emotional and teared up. There are some videos on Facebook of me like dancing in the alleyway when she runs. We might bicker in the background a little bit, but if anybody's got my back, it's her, and if anybody has her back, it's me. So it's good. It's exciting.
There's no better way to defy Father Time than with a solid run against the rodeo clock. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Told you that was a good little story.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, we're still waiting for this rollover accident to clear. This is between Callahan and Medical on the westbound access road. Still have about 3 lanes closed right now, but the guess is this should be clearing shortly.
Great shot of the daughter, just.
I
know,
so
her biggest cheerleader.
Yes, I love that.
If you are wanting to go to the rodeo, today's going to be good for it. Hang on to your hat, though, because it's going to be very windy tomorrow, Saturday, all weekend long, basically. You'll need a jacket the next few days, but not once we get into the first part of next week. More on that in a second. So we've got some clouds still hanging around here. We're going to keep a lot of high clouds, kind of like yesterday. No rain, and it looks as though 410 is now fairly dry. We had some of those showers move on through here. I saw a few kind of damp spots here and there coming into work this morning. But again, with the windy and dry conditions, that should help to dry things out pretty good. And all the rain has moved on out of our area. Mid-upper 50s, a couple of low 60s. So no, it's not really cold yet in behind this front. It is definitely windy, though. Again, 15, 20, 22 mile per hour sustained winds. And then again, those gusts, 40 out there at the airport, 35 New Braunfels, 32 at Hondo. And this is going to be status quo all day long. So what's going to be happening with temperatures? We will dip down a little bit more in the next couple of hours. So we'll bottom out in the low 50s just after sunrise, right around mid-morning, and then we start to warm up. But I don't know if that's really the right way to phrase it, because we only get up to 56 then later on this afternoon. We will have, again, a lot of high clouds out there and very windy conditions. Winds are going to be 15, 25 miles per hour, gusting 30, 35, and as it is right now, close to 40 miles per hour. There's all the high level moisture. And again, this is what we had hanging around here yesterday. It's sort of that veiled sunshine. And that's what we will be sticking around with, or what we'll be sticking around throughout the rest of today. So dew points, air, bone dry. That's going to be sticking around today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Then starts to come back up, and then really starts to come back up. And that's exactly what temperatures are going to be doing. We are going to be staying on the cool side all the way through Saturday, and then shooting all the way up to 70, low 70s, upper 70s, low 80s going into the first part of next week. And that looks like it may continue at least into Thursday. Then we'll get another front. Really cold temperatures the next few mornings. And then again, look, we're going to be staying warmer than what our high temperatures are going to be for the next couple of days. So yeah, we're all over the place, but it does look like another front's going to be moving through here, like I said, by late next week. Rain chances, what we had overnight, that is pretty much about it, at least for the next 7 days. 54 at noon today, mostly cloudy. Again, taking into account those high clouds out there, windy conditions. And then we are going to be 56 degrees for an afternoon temperature. Again, partly cloudy and windy. Red flag warnings. The fire weather watch was deleted and replaced with red flag warnings for our southern counties and then out to the west. And this is from later on this morning up until late this afternoon, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, winds are going to be gusting close to 40 miles per hour. So very, very high fire danger around the area. Tomorrow, freezing. Saturday, freezing in the morning, mid-50s in the afternoon. Again, a lot of high clouds hanging around here. 72 Sunday, back to the 80s by Tuesday, Wednesday, pardon me, and maybe a little sprinkle by Wednesday, but no real good rain chances. That's the big problem. But watch the fire danger today.
Extreme.
Yeah.
Very windy. Thank you, Mike.
452, 58 degrees.
Up next, Hollywood is remembering the iconic Raquel Welch. Plus, Rihanna gets more than just a baby butt thanks to the Super Bowl.
5 till 5, Rihanna sees a huge jump in popularity thanks to her Super Bowl performance. Plus, Hollywood loses another icon.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Hollywood remembering the iconic Raquel Welch. Her Legally Blonde co-star Reese Witherspoon tweeting that she loved working with Welch on the film, calling her elegant, professional, and glamorous beyond belief. Director Paul Feig tweets that we've lost a true icon, remembering directing her on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, saying Welch was awesome, kind, funny, and a true superstar. Raquel Welch died after a short illness. She was 82. Clear skies for November rain. The Guns N' Roses video is the first from the 90s to hit 1 billion views on YouTube. Now it's the first rock video to 2 billion. The band still rocking. They have a show scheduled for London's Hyde Park in June. Speaking of music stats, Rihanna definitely saw a Super Bowl bump. Luminate says in the day after her halftime show performance, her digital album and song sales were up over 300%. And of her most popular songs, the one with the biggest increase in sales, her 2012 banger, Where Have You Been, up over 1,200%. And a couple of music superstars with birthdays today. The Weeknd turning 33, while rapper and actor Ice-T is 65. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
weekend had so many trophies there he could hardly hold all of them.
That's not a bad thing.
That was a good night. 457, 58 degrees.
One person is dead and 3 more injured after a shooting spree at a shopping mall in El Paso. Just ahead, what police are revealing about the 2 people in custody this morning.
Plus, 2 San Antonio women share their experience after an attack and attempted kidnapping on San Antonio's west side.
And there we see the flashing lights again where we had problems earlier. There's the I-10 westbound access road off of Callahan in the medical center. But our Stephen Cavazos is in the studio and he'll be giving us an update very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A woman is shot 3 times while walking her dog. Just ahead, San Antonio police tell us about the suspect that is still on the loose.
Another mass shooting in America, this time in El Paso. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, the latest details and how a community is responding to gun violence.
And taking a look out there with live cam, we're at 57 degrees, which may not seem too cold, but be careful with that wind out there.
Yeah, Mike says the catch is we may not get much warmer than we are right now. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the 16th of February.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Maybe warm coffee with the wind out there. Let's go ahead and check in with Mike.
Yeah, it's not brutally cold this morning, and no, we won't get any warmer than where we are right now, and temperatures will actually just kind of dip a little bit and then sort of rebound, but not a big bounce up later on this afternoon. Temperature stands at 58 and northerly wind 20 miles per hour. That's the sustained wind. Look at the bottom number. Dew points down to 30. So really, really dry air, windy conditions. That is not a good recipe as far as the high fire danger. Temperatures, again, almost stay flat throughout the day, fluctuate a few degrees later on this morning, then go back up into the mid 50s later on this afternoon. The aquifer yesterday did drop down 1/10 of a foot, and the allergens, mold and ash, are both on the low side. Looks like pretty much we are done with mountain cedar season. We'll just get an updated check on that with these northerly winds later on this morning when the updated count comes out. We had some rain overnight with the front, as expected, moved through right on schedule, and now all that rain is continuing to work its way out of our area. So that's it. Now things will continue to dry out as we have windy and dry conditions. So the roads are going to dry fairly quickly, but just watch out for a couple of damp spots here and there. Mid-upper 50s, few low 60s around here. Bone dry air, and even in the hill country, look at these dew points down in the teens. That's what's going to be moving on in here with the really, really dry conditions on these winds coming in here out of the north at 15, 20, close to 25 miles per hour. 28 mile per hour wind gust at the airport. Just last half hour, it was gusting to 39, 32 at Port SA as well as Honda. So we are going to be seeing those wind gusts, and right now 36 there at Bernie Stage, gusting 30, 35, close to 40 miles per hour throughout the day. Red flag warning goes into effect 10 o'clock up until 4 o'clock for western counties and then down to the south. A very high fire danger. Again, those winds are going to be gusting close to 40 miles per hour. So windy cooling through mid-morning. So we cool down just a little bit and bounce back to the mid-50s. A lot of high clouds hanging around here, kind of like what we had yesterday, but still plenty of sunshine, but it only gets us back to the mid-50s and those windy conditions. Now, winds will die off pretty much overnight, and that's really going to be a critical factor as far as if we do exactly hit freezing tomorrow morning. That's the forecast right now, but there may be a little bit breezy, which tends to keep temperatures from getting as cold as they can get. But of course, we'll have wind chill to deal with. However, only mid-50s once again in the afternoon. That'll be the case on Saturday as well. Freezing in the morning, 50s in the afternoon. Whole different story on Sunday. We are going to be warmer, and that's the start of a warming trend going into at least the middle part of next week. Closer look at the weekend forecast in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, and got some problems out there, right?
Yeah, Mike, not a good morning over here along I-10 at Callahan. This is the access road, but let's get you a closer look at TransGuide. We still see several lanes of traffic that are blocked off at this time, and I was just on the phone with our friends over at TransGuide. This crash was reported in the early hours of the morning. In fact, we have Katrina Weber, who we'll hear from in just a moment. But you can take a look at this shot and see traffic is still making its way on by, but there are several lanes that are still blocked off, so you have to watch out for those first responders. It does appear that they are in the clearing stages right now, but let's get you to the map and show you what we're looking at here in the metropolitan area. Still very quiet right now and everywhere else in town. Of course, we're going to have that scattered construction. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but the big headline of the roadways right now will be right there along the access road. TxDOT has listed this crash along I-10 westbound and Medical Drive. And again, that is along the access road, so that's why we're not seeing a big buildup right there on our map. But let's get it back here to this shot. We see plenty of flashing lights out there, and Katrina Weber, as I mentioned, is live there now with a live look at the ground. Katrina, what's it looking like?
Well, good morning, Stephen. Yeah, lots of flashing lights. Some of them are tow trucks. They are actually doing their best to try to clear the scene, but you can see the damage that was done. Now, this car in the middle here appears to be the one that rolled over. Police say for some reason the driver lost control, hit a wall, rolled over, and then that driver was ejected from the car. In the meantime, we had two more vehicles come along and sort of do a rear end thing. The orange one there, a Camaro, rear ended the rolled over vehicle, and then police say that the third vehicle rear ended that Camaro. Now, the driver who was ejected was taken to a hospital, very serious injuries. Police weren't sure if that driver would survive. They told us that they took the other two drivers into custody because they suspected that they may be under the influence. So they could be looking at some possible charges there. That driver, again, in the rolled over vehicle in very serious condition. We're going to check with police and see if we can get an update on that person's condition. But for now, this access road is closed, but looks like they're trying to clear this up, and perhaps it will be clear within the next half hour. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you very much for that report. New this morning, San Antonio police say a woman was shot 3 times while walking her dog overnight. Happened around 1 a.m. in the 6500 block of West Military near Highway 90. Now, police say the woman was walking her dog behind a motel when someone in a white SUV and a black SUV pulled up. SAPD says the woman tried to run. A suspect started shooting, hitting her in the neck and legs. Police say the woman knew the attackers and gave officers the address of the suspect. So far, however, no arrests have been made. The woman was taken to a hospital. Her official condition is unknown at this time.
Stranded only to be attacked by a stranger. 2 women say they believe the man was a good Samaritan until they had to fight him off. Now they're trying to find their attacker. Now, doorbell video from earlier on Sunday morning picks up faint screams moments after this man is seen walking out of frame. Now, Julie Garcia and Rosie Zamora told San Antonio police that they got a flat on their way home after a night out. They pulled over on Highway 90 when a man walked up to them and asked if they needed any help.
When he was like, "I got a jack, don't worry about it," then it went sideways. He attempted to try to help us again, and when I attempted to try, that's when he started hitting me in the head.
Garcia says she was hit with a tire iron and received 2 lacerations on her head that needed to be stapled and stitches closed, along with a concussion. Now, she still was able to push the suspect, who then ran back to his vehicle. No arrests have been made. Now both women are going door to door in the area, hoping someone's doorbell video might be able to help the San Antonio Police Department.
Later today, Governor Greg Abbott will give his State of the State address, and for the second time in a row, he's giving his address outside of Austin. The governor will instead be speaking in San Marcos. Traditionally, the governor uses the annual address to outline his emergency items or top priority agenda items, if you will. During yesterday's KSAT Q&A, we spoke with Scott Braddock, the editor of the Quorum Report, who says what Abbott says may dictate what legislators focus on.
If he does, I think what he's signaling to lawmakers is if y'all don't pass some piece of legislation on this during the regular session, well, then get ready for a long, hot summer in Austin, because we're going to be here talking about it during a special session or multiple special sessions.
Only invited guests can attend the speech, and no media will be allowed in the room. There is a feed of the event. You can expect a recap of the State of the State tonight on the Night Beat at 10 o'clock.
Time now, 5:08, and we're at 57 degrees right now.
If you've been waiting to get your hands on Apple's long-awaited mixed reality headset, you have to wait a little bit longer. We'll tell you why.
And let's look out there with live cam, a cool 57 degrees, maybe a light jacket or sweater for now. We do have wind out there. We'll be right back.
5:12 this morning, another deadly shooting rocking a community all too familiar with tragedy.
As ABC's Ike Ajachi reports, police say 1 person is dead and 3 others injured after a suspected shooter fired rounds inside an El Paso shopping mall.
This morning, the city of El Paso experiencing yet another mass shooting.
We have 2
young male subjects on the upper level by the food court that had been shot.
2 people, both males, are in custody after a shooting inside the Cielo Vista Mall killed 1 person and injured 3 others. The incident happening adjacent to the Walmart where 23 people lost their lives in a racist shooting from 2019. Investigators say shots rang out near the mall food court. An off-duty officer who was working security at the time got to the scene within minutes and arrested a person.
A great deal of credit needs to go out to the off-duty officer that was able to get one of these individuals in custody in a very quick amount of time.
People seen fleeing the mall once the shots started.
We were going through an emergency exit, but people were pushing and shoving, and it was just understandable because they were scared.
It was just pure terrifying. I didn't know what to do.
This latest shooting comes as thousands of students and community members at Michigan State University held a vigil in honor of the 3 students killed during Monday's mass shooting on campus.
Our hearts are heavy. Our loss has been great. Our lives have been permanently changed.
We shouldn't have to live like this. We are the only country in the world where guns are the #1 killer of young people.
Other Michigan students channeling their grief into protests, gathering at the Capitol in Lansing to urge gun reform. And in Buffalo, tensions running high in court as 19-year-old Peyton Gendron was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole after being found guilty in the racially charged mass shooting that killed 10 people inside a Buffalo supermarket. As for the El Paso mall shooting, officers say they're still searching for a motive. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Time now is 5:14, and we're at 57 degrees right now.
Still ahead, why Twitter's relaxing its policies to allow cannabis ads.
Plus, your traffic authority, Stephen Cavazos, is very interested in this movie. We're going to get a new look at Disney's live action, The Little Mermaid, next.
People are always looking at their phones. They're banking with Bank of America. See cousin Jimmy over there? His girlfriend just caught the bouquet, so he might need a little more help saving for that engagement ring. The groom's parents, who think they're looking at photos of their handsome boy, they're not. She just saw how much they spent on ballroom dance classes. Won't be needing those anymore.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
No 2 bodies are the same. Some pads never got that message, but Always Flex Foam did. It protects against different flows for up to 0 leaks, and it flexes to fit all bodies for up to 0 feel. Feel it yourself with Always Flex Foam.
Mom, twinning? Except one of us doesn't have any tan lines. Jergens Natural Glow gives me a nice sun-kissy birthday suit. Your color is flawless.
Twinning? More like winning!
Create your own sunshine with flawless, natural-looking color. Jergens.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple has reportedly delayed the debut of its much-anticipated mixed reality headset. Bloomberg says the company is still trying to iron out hardware-software issues, so the unveiling initially set for April will now take place in June. Next, Twitter is now allowing cannabis ads. Advertisers must be pre-approved and must follow certain guidelines, which includes not targeting people under 21. The change comes after Twitter's data showed cannabis-related tweets were more popular than most others. And Tesla has committed to opening up 7,500 of its charging stations to non-Tesla cars by the end of next year. The move is part of the Biden administration's initiative to install 500,000 EV chargers around the country by 2030. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Part of that
It was the moment Stephen Cavazos has been patiently waiting for. Disney finally gave us a sneak peek at more of the stars in its upcoming live-action version of The Little Mermaid. Thanks to the urging of Stephen Cavazos, Disney just released a new teaser trailer that features more of Halle Bailey's Ariel.
Awesome. Well, the teaser also gives us a quick glance at Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. The Little Mermaid hits theaters on May 26th.
All right, so quick backstory. Stephen was just telling us this teaser was actually supposed to run during this year's Super Bowl.
Right. Well, you know what's interesting? I mean, the day after the Super Bowl, I was here on the desk talking with Sarah and RJ. You guys were off, but mentioned that there was no trailer that was released in general. And I think a lot of people were really excited to see what this film was going to look like. It's been in production for years, and obviously the pandemic pushed it back. So, you know, the teaser came out yesterday, and while it looks amazing and beautifully shot, I was just hoping for a little more.
Okay.
But I'll settle for what we got.
But it's just a teaser.
No, but I wanted a trailer, Mike. It's been years. It's been years. But
it's about time.
You know how we were angry about Top Gun Maverick? He is equally as upset about Little Mermaid.
It's like any film, right? I mean, you get excited to watch. You just want to see as much of it as you can before it's released.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope it's not disappointing.
May 26th.
Yeah.
So,
this year.
Yeah, this year. So, hey, at least we're getting the movie.
I think, wasn't Mulan pushed back also?
Mulan was also pushed back.
And I loved that movie.
Yes, it was great to watch that in the comfort of our home.
So more to come on those.
Yeah.
So keep us updated.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that, but I've been keeping a very close eye on this particular incident along 10 at Callahan. Now, this is that rollover crash that Katrina Weber has talked to us about throughout the morning. Unfortunately, the situation just doesn't look good. We know that there was a serious injury reported. We'll hear more from her a little bit later on and get more information for you throughout the day. But right now, it does appear that we are in the clearing stages of I-10 at Callahan. Now, remember, this is along the access road, so it's not causing a big impact with traffic, at least just yet. But I think this will probably clear before 6 a.m. Let's get you to the map. And really not a lot to show you else out there aside from the crash. Remember, KSAT has listed that crash along I-10 westbound near Medical Drive along the access road. So we're hoping to find a better update in the next few minutes or so. Let's get you some travel times if you are heading into the Alamo City from any of these communities. Thankfully, still green across the board here. That journey from Bernie along I-10 eastbound looks to be about 25 minutes at this hour. 281 southbound, if you're traveling in from Bulverde, no need to hurry there. We can expect to see about 27 minutes and about 25 minutes along I-35 southbound heading in from New Braunfels. But we'll keep a close eye here. Mike, 10 at Callahan is that big problem spot that we've been talking about throughout the morning. Again, hoping for a better update in the next few minutes, but other than that, the roads are fine.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, most of them should be dry now because of the windy, dry conditions that have moved on in here. Beautiful picture, and Peggy says it is just wanting to bloom. Maybe with some of the temperatures next week, that'll get that thing to bloom. But when it does, please send in another picture so we can watch the progress of this. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, out there by the airport, everything looks pretty good. We don't have any low clouds. You can see one of the planes taking off right there. We do have a lot of high clouds, and those are going to be sticking around throughout the day. The front moved through. It's not as though temperatures plummeted. I mean, we're still well above normal by a good 10, 15 degrees on average. Bone dry air has moved on in here. As a matter of fact, dew point temperatures. Now, we were still fairly dry yesterday morning, and it was much drier in portions of the hill country. But these dew points have dropped down significantly and will continue to drop down over the course of the next couple of days. So we've got these winds coming in here out of the north, and even drier air will continue to get pumped on in. Winds are gusting right now. 32 at Hondo, 28 at the airport. It was gusting close to 40 earlier this morning. That will be the situation throughout the rest of the day. So temperatures are going to drop a little bit over the course of the next couple of hours. We'll bottom out at 52 mid-morning. Some sunshine, a lot of high clouds out there. Then we are going to see things bounce back only to the mid-50s. So pretty much between now and later on this afternoon, temperatures aren't really going anywhere. Just a little bit of a fluctuation. Very windy all day long. And the rain that moved on through with the front, that's all moved on out of the area. Notice how we still have some of these clouds left over in behind. Now, as far as upstream from us, there is nothing going on. So this is what's in store for the next couple of days. It is going to be very clear. Now, unfortunately, we don't have anything really, any decent rain in the forecast at all. Maybe a couple of sprinkles as it looks right now by the middle part of next week. So what we got overnight, which wasn't much, that's it for a while. 54 degrees today at noon. Mostly cloudy skies. Again, very windy all day long. And then a high temperature is going to make it up to an afternoon temperature, I should say, up to 56 degrees. The red flag warning is going to affect at 10 o'clock up until 4 o'clock for our western counties and the southern counties. A very high fire danger today. And then tomorrow morning, once that wind subsides, and if there is a little bit of a breeze, may not actually touch 32, but it's going to definitely feel like it, and down in the 20s in the hill country. Same thing Saturday morning, really cold mornings and staying chilly in the afternoon. That all changes, about a 180 going into next week, back up into the 80s. We'll be back after this.
A certain Wizarding World might have looked very different on screen.
CNN's David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
I just thought this was a great story. It was a great
Steven Spielberg kicked off 2 major film franchises, Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park, but he turned down a third, Harry Potter. Spielberg says he and wife Kate Capshaw were just starting a family when he got the offer, which would have meant spending months filming in London, so he declined.
There were dragons when I was a boy.
How to Train Your Dragon is going live action. Dean DeBlois, the filmmaker behind the original trilogy, is writing, directing, and producing the live action version, due in theaters in March of 2025. All 3 animated dragon movies were nominated for the Best Animated Film Oscar.
One name came back. The past came back too.
There may have been a time when Damien had your back.
No friends in the industry.
That's not what he's doing now.
Jonathan Majors looks even more dangerous in the final trailer for Creed 3. He plays an ex-con with nothing to lose and a score to settle with Michael B. Jordan's Adonis Creed. Tessa Thompson also stars. Creed 3 opens in theaters March 3rd. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
528, 57 degrees.
First responders in Alabama who arrived at the scene of a crashed Black Hawk helicopter found it engulfed in flames. Just ahead, what investigators are revealing so far about why that chopper went down.
And watch out for that badge on the steering wheel if you drive a Nissan. The company says it could fly off in a crash. We'll tell you how it's correcting the problem.
Plus, if you're a fan of Chipotle, we're going to tell you about their new restaurant concept being tested right now and the new menu items that come with it.
At least 2 people are dead after a Black Hawk helicopter crashed onto an Alabama highway. What federal and state authorities are saying about the cause this morning.
And let's look out there with live cam. Chilly because of the wind. We're at 57 degrees and things will not get too much warmer today.
And good morning to you. It's Thursday, the 16th of February.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. So now, we had the warm. It's time for the chilly.
It's going to get really cold the next couple of mornings. This morning, not too bad. Jacket weather. But we don't really move all day long. A couple of degrees here or there, and that's going to be about it. And then a very high fire danger as well in behind this front. Front moved through right on schedule in the overnight hours. And we do weather right here. That's right. It dumped a little bit of rain. That's all moved on out of here. Pretty much the roads are dry thanks to all of the wind and the very dry air that's being pumped on in behind this front. Temperature right now is still in the upper 50s. We're still well above the normal low temperature, but then we're going to stay well below the normal high temperature. Dew points at 30, so really dry air. We've got 28-degree difference between those two, as we call it the dew point depression. Wind is out of the north at 20 and then gusting on top of that. So mid upper 50s, low 60s all around the area. Los Maples at 49 though right now. Really dry air, and it's going to get even drier over the next couple of days and even throughout the course of the day today. And wind right now 23 at Hondo, 17 New Braunfels, 23 also Port SA. Gusts upper 20s, even mid 30s. We had wind gusting close to 40 earlier this morning at the airport, and that's going to be the case all day long. So that's what's prompting red flag warning to go into effect at 10 o'clock this morning up until 4 o'clock this afternoon for our western counties and then down to the south. Does not include San Antonio and Bexar County nor up the I-35 corridor, but of course the fire danger with the windy and dry conditions. It's just so dry out there in the hill country. You got to really watch it with any sort of outdoor burning at all and just skip it all together. Mold and ash are both on the low side. And again, throughout the day, temperatures, for all intents and purposes, really aren't going much of anywhere. We will dip down a few more degrees this morning and then come back up to 56. That'll be about it, and staying fairly breezy tonight. Then tomorrow morning, it's going to be cold. Same thing with Saturday morning. How about the rest of the weekend? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, still got big problems out there?
Things have actually cleared. So we actually have a better update here, Mike. 10 at Callahan, that access road, we saw blocked off a few lanes with flashing lights. First responders were out there responding to a serious rollover crash. So better news to report out here in terms of the clearing stages, because we're not seeing any delays. Those lanes are now open. However, we have learned that this crash has now been reported as deadly. In fact, Katrina Weber has been standing by there live now, and she has the latest update.
Well, good morning, Stephen. Yes, police confirmed that to me earlier, just before they left, that the driver involved in the rollover has died. Now, this is the scene where it happened, where they ended up just about 2:30 this morning. You can see it's all cleared now, very different from what we saw about a half hour ago. But it actually started about a few hundred yards down the road there when that rollover car first hit a rock not too different from this one. That sent him way off course. And we have some video to show you so you can see how things ended up. Now, that car not only hit the rock, it also went into a stone wall, then rolled over down the access road. Police say an orange Camaro then came along and hit that rolled over car, and then a third vehicle came along and hit a tree. So the driver who was in the car that rolled over is the one who died. We don't have any information on him just yet. Police tell us that they did have to take the other two drivers, the one in the orange Camaro and the one in the third car, into custody because they suspect that they both were drunk. Now, those two drivers are going to be tested once they're in custody, and that will determine whether they end up with charges and go to jail. But in the meantime, police did tell us again that the driver involved in the rolled over car has died. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. 5:35. The CEOs of major tech companies like Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft have all been subpoenaed by lawmakers. House Judiciary Republicans want to talk to them about their company's communications with the executive branch over how their content is moderated. The move by Committee Chairman Jim Jordan is a notable escalation as part of their House GOP's efforts to prove that big tech companies have colluded with the federal government to suppress conservative voices. The letters all ask for requested documents and communications to be handed over fairly quickly by March 23rd.
Moderna says its COVID-19 vaccines will remain available at no cost even after the government contract ends. The U.S. Public Health Emergency Declaration is slated to end in May. However, Moderna says people who are insured will still be able to get the vaccine at their doctor's office or from a pharmacy. People who don't have insurance or if the vaccine is not covered by their insurance can get the shot through the pharmaceutical company's patient assistance program. This is a change from January. The Wall Street Journal reported Moderna was considering charging $110 to $130 per vaccine dose. In October, Pfizer said it was also considering a similar charge for its vaccine.
Blizzard conditions that forced some drivers to abandon their vehicles on roadways in parts of North Dakota. Take a look at these images. Officials say hundreds of vehicles were stranded on the highways as drivers waited for a tow, snowplow, or fuel. High winds and falling snow has brought zero visibility to the roads. One group said they were stuck on an interstate for 11 hours due to the blizzard. One sheriff's department has dispatched a snowmobile squad to help stranded commuters, especially those stuck in rural areas. Deputies had to save a driver trapped for more than 6 hours on one roadway.
Time now, 5:37 and 57 degrees for now.
The retailer Tuesday morning has filed for bankruptcy. Now it's planning to keep its doors open for now.
Plus, something new from Chipotle. Up next, how the company is testing a new quick service restaurant concept that has more unique menu items.
Outside with live cam. If you love temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, you're going to love today. Not much warmer than this, according to Mike Osterhage. I'll have an update on his forecast still to come. .540 now to that deadly military helicopter crash, a Black Hawk going down near Huntsville, Alabama.
ABC's Ike Ajachi has the latest.
Looking up in the air, saw the helicopter go over our head and bam, we heard it hit. We saw it hit the ground and it exploded.
Tammy Adams watched as the Black Hawk helicopter plunged to the ground near Huntsville, Alabama, killing 2 members of the Tennessee National Guard.
I just hollered, my Lord, my God, because nobody could have survived that.
Security video captured the chopper falling out of the sky.
It's crazy.
The Black Hawk soon engulfed in flames on a local highway. Authorities say the 2 National Guard members were on a training mission. No one else was on board.
It didn't sound like a normal, motor or engine or anything running. It sounded like it was sick, if you want to put it that way. And then next thing you know, when I was unlocking the door,
The investigation into the crash is in the very early stages, but one witness calls the helicopter pilot a hero. She tells AL.com the pilot appeared to maneuver around a neighborhood just before the crash, possibly to avoid casualties on the ground, saying the pilot probably saved a lot of lives. However he did it, he probably saved our subdivision. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
In your morning consumer headlines, it's been a tough week for home goods retailer Tuesday Morning. The company has now filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for the second time in 3 years. Tuesday Morning has secured $51 million in financing to keep stores open. The Dallas company currently has almost 500 of them, down from about 700 3 years ago. Now it plans to close more stores.
Nissan recalling more than 400,000 older SUVs, vans, and pickups here in the U.S. It says the logo or badge on the steering wheel can detach or break apart when the airbag inflates, creating projectiles. In a letter, Nissan tells the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration it's aware of 4 injuries possibly linked to this issue. The pickups involved are the 08 through 2011 Nissan Titan and Frontier models, and SUV models Xterra, Pathfinder, and SUV Armada. The minivans are 2008 and 2009 Nissan Quests. The issue appears to affect less than 1% of the recalled vehicles, but the company says owners should bring them in for inspection.
Chipotle is testing a new quick service restaurant concept in California, which could roll out nationally if successful. It's called Farmasa, and gone are the tacos and burrito wraps. Everything is served in a bowl instead, each featuring a protein, green or grain, 2 sides, and a choice of 5 sauces. Now, Farmasa will offer some dishes not typically found at Chipotle Mexican Grill, like spice-crusted or king salmon or golden beets and sprouted cauliflower. Customers will order their food through an on-site kiosk or order through DoorDash and Uber Eats in the Santa Monica area.
Time check, 5:43, 57 degrees.
Are you ready for a new pet? Well, the San Antonio Humane Society is standing by with a tiny little puppy.
Precious pup. TransGuide right now. There's 410 at Babcock. Stephen will let us know if there are any problems coming up in a couple of minutes.
Well, I think Kim wins the prize for having the smallest dog we have ever had on
Look.
Good Morning. Who is this?
This is Kisses.
Hi, Kisses.
Kisses is super small. Could fit in your pocket.
Just about. You said 2 months old.
2 months old. Probably like miniature Chihuahua.
I don't know if getting bigger is the proper term when the dog gets this small, but it won't be quite this small anymore.
No, it'll get just a little bit bigger, but not too much.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Very alert this morning. Very sweet. Came into us yesterday. So, yeah, she's ready to go home.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, you can just like take that thing anywhere. Just
I know,
out, so.
exactly.
All right, what you got going on?
So Fiesta is right around the corner. I know it's in February, but Fiesta's coming up. So we have a really neat competition called El Rey Fido,
yes.
where your pup can compete to win the crown. And so it's a fundraising initiative that we have. You can go online and sign up. The winning pup gets crowned El Rey Fido, and it's at Hops and Hounds this year. So help raise money for the Humane Society for all of our little pets like Kisses and everything else.
The celebrity with the dog then,
Yes.
Yeah.
You get to go everywhere. I mean, we do parades, so it is completely worth it. Absolutely. And again, you're giving money back into the shelter.
Yeah, it all goes back to them and helps out all the dogs and cats they had there. So if you'd like more information on entering El Rey Fido, or if you'd like to, just donate to some of the El Rey Fido dogs as well, or this little itty bitty out there, head on over to the San Antonio Humane Society, 4804 Fredericksburg Road, just outside 410, or sahumane.org. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Right now we're at 5:48.
Let's go ahead and check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Well, things are calm on the roadways. We did have that pretty serious crash along I-10 Access Road near Callahan. That's already cleared out, so that's some good news. Unfortunately, we do know at least one person died from their injuries. We'll have more on that story a little bit later on. But right now, let's give you an update on your commute, because 35 there at Walsum's not looking pretty bad, but we're seeing a lot more folks out there minute by minute as we get closer to 6 a.m., which means we're probably going to start to see a lot more red take over this map. But thankfully, no slowdowns just yet are being reported. If you are traveling into San Antonio this early in the morning, I-10 westbound heading in from Seguin, you're still in the green. 28 minutes at this hour, about 33 minutes if you're traveling along 87 northbound heading in from Lavernia. And for our friends down in Floresville, should take you about 28 minutes to the downtown area. Let's get you a quick look around town once more. 281, not looking too bad there. US 90 at Medio Creek, usually a busy spot, but thankfully there are no other issues to report at this hour. We are going to continue to track the roads closely, but again, we did have that pretty serious crash along I-10 westbound. That access road at Callahan was blocked off for quite some time, but that has already cleared out. So some better news to report. But remember, that's a shot that we had flashing lights. This is a very serious rollover crash. That story is now on our website at KSAT.com.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, thank you. Okay, the changes now.
Yeah, front move through right on schedule in the overnight hours. A little bit of rain. That's pretty much all dried up now, and it's all moved on out to the east. Now we just got windy and dry conditions, which normally wouldn't be such a bad thing, but we've got a very high fire danger. This is an absolutely gorgeous picture of this cardinal that Peggy took. Thank you very much for that. Look at it. I mean, looks like it's posing for that in those beautiful blue skies.
And Mike, remember what they say when cardinals appear, they say that loved ones who have passed are near.
Yes.
And it says, as it says, shows we need the confirmation of loved ones.
That's right.
Thank you very much for that picture. And we've got a lot of clouds hanging around here, a lot of high clouds, and that's going to be sticking around kind of like what we had yesterday with sort of veiled sunshine, if you will. And we're at 58 degrees, low 50s hill country, and a couple of low 60s out there. Wind, that's a big issue, and 23 miles per hour at Hondo, 17 to Braunfels, 20 at the airport, and then the gusts, 28, 32, San Antonio, Hondo, Port SA 32, and we had gusts approaching 40 earlier this morning. That will be the situation today. Temperatures, for the most part, aren't moving today. We'll drop a couple of degrees throughout the morning hours and then come back up only to roughly where we are right now, or maybe even not up to 58 degrees, 56 for a high temperature. And we will have those strong northerly winds. 15, 20, 25 miles per hour, and then the gusts 30, 35, close to 40 throughout the day. There's the moisture aloft in the atmosphere with the water vapor imagery, and that's why we have a lot of those high clouds that are going to be sticking around for the next few days. So it's, yeah, we'll have plenty of sunshine, but again, sort of that veiled sunshine out there. So here's the low that is moving on out of here, brought the front through, very strong winds coming in out of the north, a good surge of cold air coming on in here, and that's going to get us down to freezing tomorrow morning as well as Saturday morning. Tomorrow may be kind of a touch and go as far as if we actually hit freezing on the thermometer, because the winds do stay up a little bit more in the morning, won't let us get as cold, but then of course we'll have wind chills to deal with. No matter how you slice it, it's going to be cold tomorrow. It's going to be cold Saturday morning as well. Beautiful weather, a lot of high clouds around here. Then as we go on into Sunday, we will start to feel the effects of that next low, and temperatures are going to start to moderate a little bit more, and that's really going to start to help to heat us up, and temperatures are just going to continue to warm up going into the first to middle part of next week, and still kind of jury's out on that low as far as any direct influence on our weather, because as it's looking right now, other than a couple of sprinkles next Wednesday, that's it as far as any rain is concerned. 54 at noon, mostly cloudy skies. Again, taking into account those high clouds out there. Same thing this afternoon. 56 high temperature, very windy conditions, and we do have red flag warnings going into effect this morning up until late afternoon for our western and southern counties. Extremely high fire danger today. Tomorrow, like I said, no matter how you slice it, be it the temperature or the wind chill, it's going to be cold. Same thing Saturday, mid 50s, mid to upper 50s both days. Then flick a switch basically, and it's back to the 70s and 80s by Sunday going into next week.
Another season next week.
Yep. Coats to flip-flops. Right. Or just wear everything all at once. I don't know.
I have everything out already.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
5:53, 57 degrees.
Let's look at your winning lotto numbers. Looking at pick 3, 844, Fireball 8, Daily 4, 6906, Fireball 5.
Cash 5 numbers 4, 16, 22, 25, 33. Lotto Texas 3, 10, 19, 20, 34, 37. And Powerball 31, 32, 54, 60, 63. Powerball 12, Power Play 4.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we're tracking the latest on some breaking news about a deadly mall shooting in El Paso. Killed at least one person. And this morning, we're going to tell you what we know about the victims in critical condition and the suspects in custody. And then an ABC News exclusive with the family who lost their 13-year-old daughter to a tragic tubing accident in Aruba last year. Why they've decided to tell their story now. You're going to see those stories and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
Later today, we will be hosting a KSAT community town hall with local experts and healthcare professionals weighing in on heart health since February is American Heart Month. It starts at 2 p.m. on KSAT.com, and Alyssa Cole will be the moderator. You can also join the conversation. If you have any questions you'd like to have answered, you can submit them on KSAT.com in our KSAT community section. Ahead in the next hour of Good Morning San Antonio, there's a shortage of auto parts specifically for Kias and Hyundais, what this means for drivers who face vehicle break-ins and why it's such a big problem. The National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988 making efforts to include more options, why they plan on adding to the service, making sure they're reaching even more people in crisis. Plus, the latest on the investigation in President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents, what a recent search at the University of Delaware is revealing now. We had a fatal incident on the northwest side earlier this morning at 10 near Medical. That is now cleared up. Right now, we're just tracking normal traffic flow. There's I-35 at Walsham Road and I-35 at Loop 410. It is Thursday morning, and you're starting your day with GMSA.